Jambola, crawfish pie, filet gumbo. Everybody's heard that song, right? Well, there's a reason filet gumbo. Filet is a derivative or is derived from the leaves of the sassafras. Sassafras is a it has many qualities. Whether you get filet as a thickening agent for the ground up leaves for gumbo, there is also a bark on the root that is used for flavoring as root beer. We don't use that quite as much anymore, but a lot of our Native Americans and early settlers use the root bark off the sassafras. Has a great aroma. We don't have ability to smell that, but if you come to our Color Fest some of these days, or when we get back to normal, we'll have some roots for you to smell. That is a root beer aroma, and a lot of people made sassafras tea from that. One of the things, sassafras, and we talked earlier about the spice bush, both of them are host plants for the spice bush swallowtail butterfly. And if you want to plant some native plants in your yard or enjoy beautiful fall colors and have some native plants in your yard for the attracting of pollinators, sassafras and spice bush are two. In fact, in my opinion, one of the most varied leaf colors in the fall is from sassafras, and it'll start really early and have some of the yellows and purples and reds. I mean, it varies, and it's just striking, especially along roadsides, fence lines, and generally, especially sassafras, they will grow in clumps, in groves, because they kind of root sucker. But if you isolate one and let it grow in an ideal location, you can get some quite large tree out of that. They can grow up to 40 and 50 feet tall if you put them in the right conditions, especially out in the sun and isolated. One of the ways you can identify our sassafras is by the 3 leaf shapes, and I always like to make kids do this. Kids will put their hands up, make a spoon, a mitten, and a fork. Spoon, mitten, and fork. And you can find those 3 shapes of those leaves, and it's a good way to identify the sassafras. If you'll notice, we have the 3-pronged fork. Now this will call me a liar, and I won't be able to find it. Oh, there it is. There's our mitten. And spoons are always easy to find. And there is our spoon. So we got our spoon, we got our mitten, and we got our fork. And that is, in fact, there's another tree similar to that with a leaf shape. It's a mulberry, and they have some indentations, they get some deep sinuses on their lobes, similar to the sassafras, but mulberries will have some serrations along the edge of their leaves, and as well, if you pull one of them off, they'll have a milky sap. They're in the Moraceae family. These are in the Laurelaceae family. So I enjoyed talking to you now about the sassafras, and hopefully you'll be able to go out into the woods and to be able to identify those. Thank you.